Hello everyone and welcome to this pick a card reading video. In this video, we will be looking at what can help you on your healing journey. It can be a person, place, thing, it can be whatever, that may help you. I actually haven't looked at the cards yet. No, I don't know if people know this, but whenever I pull the cards, like I pull them and I don't, even when I'm taking the pictures of them, I don't look at them until right before I hop on here. So then I have some fresh um intuitive insights. Sometimes I'll look if I just feel really drawn to look, but if I feel like I need to have any chit chat with spirit or just with the cards. But yeah, so you can think of any specific aspect of your healing journey, or you can be more general in your thinking, and you may be drawn, of course, to more than one. But here is stack 1A, stack 2B, stack 3C. You can pause if you'd like and if you need some more time to figure out which stack you're most drawn to. If you are not drawn to any of the stacks, that's completely fine. This just might not be the pick a card reading video for you, but I have plenty of other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my YouTube channel. As a reminder, everything I talk about and discuss in this video is for entertainment purposes only and cannot be stated as fact. Alright, let's get into it. Hello everyone, or hello 1A I should say, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. So the cards here are the 8 of Wands in reverse, Knight of Wands in reverse, Strength card upright, 4 of Swords in reverse, 7 of Swords in reverse, and the 7 of Cups in reverse. And then for the Oracle cards, I will read in the guidebook later for both of them, but we have balance yourself, direction, growth, life stages, and I don't feel that I've ever actually pulled that one. And what you see in the picture there is the Native American colors that represent the directions. I'm not super well versed in all of that, but I do know about that. So, and then a bunch of rocks and a butterfly. And then we have 33, angel number, Chiron, healing. So, right off the bat, what I see here is that a lot of you, what will help you on your healing journey is slowing down. I think a lot of you are doing too much, and when I pulled the 7 of Swords for this type of reading, that indicates to me that a lot of you are trying to cut corners. So let me try to think of it, and even the 7 of Cups in reverse too. And I think, um, you know what makes me think of? I don't think this necessarily applies to this group, but you should know what I'm saying, where oh no, I just had it. Where'd it go? Sorry, I got distracted. By the way, my cat is over here. He's really feeling it today. He loves when I'm doing the very healing. I mean, everything with tarot can be healing, right? But he's like really feeling the energy today. He's like all up on the cards. So he's kind of distracting me a bit. But I think too, with me saying that, I think a lot of you could easily be in a distracted period of your life as well. It feels like there's quite a bit of imbalance. I think a lot of you are struggling to think clearly, and that's because there's just so much on your plate and you're doing a lot. And what was I gonna say? This reminds me of doing oh, those get rich quick schemes. I'm not saying that this applies to you all, but it reminds me of that because those people try to get, well, I mean, I guess it's in the title. They try to get rich very quickly, so people cut corners and maybe don't work as hard. I think a lot of you think you're working hard, and I think you could be working hard toward goals, and you think you're working hard toward healing yourself, but the thing about healing yourself is that it can take time, so rushing that process isn't helpful. And actually, it can do worse, and it can have the opposite or negative effect that you are wanting. So if you are on this healing journey, or if you don't know where to start, Spirit is saying that you shouldn't cut corners. Something that will help you on your healing journeys is taking your time. Literally, the 8 of Wands is in reverse. First card being pulled. What's mirroring that is the 4 of Swords in reverse. So Spirit is saying you need to relax. A lot of you have too much on your plate. So Spirit says that what will help you is to, on your healing journey, is to not only slow down, but remove, like, I could say responsibilities, but remove things that are unnecessary. Sometimes we have things as responsibilities, but they don't need to be labeled as such. Or even if we need to get something done, that doesn't mean you have to get everything done in one day. That also doesn't mean wait until the last day or the last second to get everything done. So a lot of you, what will help you on your healing journey is time management, but in a way that spirit doesn't want for you to worry about time or timing, because there's a sense of urgency with a lot of you, or a sense of just wanting to get the healing done and over with. And a lot of you, I think, are struggling with facing your fears or facing something that's happened that you need to heal from. But I really love that we have Strength card here, because that indicates to me that spirit is telling you you're so much stronger than you know. And I think a lot of this has to do with where you're at mentally. I think a lot of you are able to exert yourself physically quite a bit. So that's why it's like, hey, if I'm doing all this, if I'm not just staying in one place, then that can be helpful. Some of you are also distracting yourself with different things. That's very much present here too, where it's not even that you're focusing on healing yourself as much as you're focusing on distractions. And that can include things that are labeled as healing, but you use it as a distraction. Like working out could be an example. You could use working out as a distraction instead of, because working out is good, right? It's very healing and it releases the happy hormones. But I used to personally as well use exercise not as a distraction, but like I'm somebody who tends to take things to extremes because of my OCD and just, anxiety and all that. So I feel like I need to do the most. So I think some of you that could even relate, but I'm getting a sense though that you're doing a lot physically, like in the real world, but when it comes to when you're by yourself and when you're alone, like you don't take time to decompress, and it feels like you think you need to do so much at once. I think you come up with a lot of ideas as well, but not a lot of solutions. So you could have a lot of also, like, I think a lot of you do have a lot on your plate. Some of you maybe don't relate too much to the physical aspect, so this could mean that you just have like thought of a lot of ideas, but you haven't actually executed on those ideas. And part of that is because a lot of you are distracting yourself with other things, with family, with friends, with other people's issues. It just seems like I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are very much workaholics. But I feel like a lot of you are putting these things that need to be healed on the back burner, or you're like, okay, when I have time at the end of the day. But then when it's the end of the day, you're like, okay, well, I have to do this instead. I have to do this, or I have to take care of this. I should really think about this. I can't work on healing myself because I gotta think about this pressing issue. Even though it's like 6 months from now when something is like due or needs to be thought about. So spirit is like, I think spirit is saying too that you think you're being realistic, but you're being like hyper realistic or just not very realistic at all. Like I think it's just because you're distracting yourself. So there's a sense that mental and emotional healing, which I think a lot of people who chose this video in general, it probably more so focuses on mental and emotional or spiritual healing as opposed to physical, but there really is a big emphasis on that spiritual and emotional. I wonder if some of you, because I was talking about exerting yourself, if some of you are just very active, like, and again, that doesn't have to be exercising, just always going from point A to point B to point C, like always, I see somebody who's always in their car. It makes me think of like Uber drivers, DoorDash drivers, like people who are always on the go. And so with those things, I could see maybe people distracting themselves with their work in that sense, or even with music. Some of you maybe well, you know what? I think that's actually a really good point. Some of you, instead of sitting with your thoughts, you put on music, and you think that that can be healing. Of course, music is healing, but it can't do all the emotional labor for you because no matter each person's journey, even if you feel a song directly relates to you, if you aren't dissecting it further than listening to a song, then you're not doing the full healing. You're doing maybe half of it, if even. And if you're not working on fully addressing, then it's not the healing work that you need or that you think it is. And I think a lot of you don't realize how fatigued or exhausted you are until you do take some time to relax and not be doing so much, to relieve some stress for your life, to remove responsibilities from your plate. Once you start doing that, I see that a lot of you, like, fatigue will maybe start popping up, or maybe you'll realize that you've always been feeling like this, or lately you have been, but you just haven't been open to that messaging or to allowing yourself to really feel inside your body. There's a lot of escapism in terms of distractions. And with the strength card too, I know I said that spirit is saying that you're stronger than you know. I think a lot of you because of past circumstances or because of the things you've needed to heal from, you've needed to, like, save face. You know, I'm seeing somebody in my mind's eye who presents as super strong on the outside and somebody who can handle everything. I think that relates to a lot of you too, where you think you can handle everything, including other people's problems. You're like, I got it, I can do it. But you actually don't. You think you do. I think a lot of you think you do, or you try to get everything under control, but spirit is like, you don't have everything under control like you think you do. And that's okay, but realizing that was the first step. You don't need to be strong all the time. That's a big key phrase for you all. You don't need to be strong all the time. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to realize when you've messed up, when you've made mistakes. And in your healing journey, you may be ashamed of mistakes you've made in the past. And I think a lot of you have are very strong-willed or have like big egos, you know. And I'm not saying that actually is a diss at all, because having a big ego is a way to protect yourself. But there's a sense of pride and you being like, oh yeah, my past doesn't define me, which is true. But I think you also need to work on healing that past so that it doesn't define you, because I think it is defining a lot of you more than you think it is in this moment. And even if you don't see the impacts of it now, I see a lot of like future stuff popping up here where Spirit's saying the more this is pushed off or the more distractions you know, put into your life to push this off, the harder it will be to face yourself later on. I'm seeing somebody who's has a mirror like up in front of them, but they can't see their reflection. I think a lot of you could relate to this now, but if you keep on this path, it'll be hard to realize who you are and like what you're fighting for is the way this is coming across. Like, what are you living for? Are you living to just distract yourself? Spirit wants you to be grounded. So of course, working on grounding yourself is part of your healing journey. Yeah, I see that. I think it's hard for people to relate to quite a bit of your past experiences as well. So I think that's why it's hard for you to open up to other people. So if you can't open up to other people, I of course recommend a therapist. But I think, and I say this quite a bit, but healing is a solo journey. But in this case, I think it would be hard for people to understand you. Just realize it isn't for anybody to understand. Like, if you're going through something and people are like, hey, what's been up with you? You do not have to explain or over-exacerbate, like, oh, it's nothing. You also don't have to lie and be like, oh, it's nothing. Just be like, oh, I would rather keep it to myself. There are some people-pleasing tendencies within this as well, like not telling full truths with that Seven of Swords or whatever. So a lot of you, I think, struggle with that because you don't want people to think less of you. You don't want for people to, I think a lot of you, it's interesting because I think a lot of you are very independent people, but you also don't want people to abandon you. It's very, very interesting. And I'm not talking about even like in a romantic sense, although I think that could be the case as well. Like, just any of your relationships, anybody, like an acquaintance, a stranger, anybody. I think that that relates to you. You don't want people to think less than of you. You want for people to think of you as strong and to think of you as somebody who has got everything together. Let's see, is there anything else I have to say? I don't think so. Oh no, my cat is up on my lap. He's tucked into my right armpit. He loves doing that. If any of y'all have cats or even dogs who do this, let me know, because I love it when he does this. He's not a very, like, touchy cat. Like, he isn't a super big cuddler, but he'll go up and do that for a bit, and now he's gone. Okay, I'll read in the guidebook now. Let's go to that first one. Balance yourself. Direction, growth, life stages. For the Nehiyawak First Nation peoples of Canada, also known as the Cree, the medicine wheel represents the... Oh, it's the medicine wheel. I thought it was for the directions. I think it's for both, anyway. Oh yeah, I see the directions here. Okay, anyway. The medicine wheel represents the foundations of life. Each year, each lesson, each life is in constant motion through the four phases depicted by the medicine wheel. Its philosophy extends to the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and can help one understand their place in the universe as well as how they are linked to all living things. The four aspects of the medicine wheel are interwoven, and its underlying message is one of wholeness, balance, natural cycles, and relationship. The Cree consult the medicine wheel for guidance, healing, purpose, and insight. Each of the quadrants relates to a direction, yep, a season, a color, and a life stage as below. So first, I know it has on the screen, but if you want to go back to the colors on here and think of which one you feel most drawn to, that might resonate with where in life you need the most healing. But if not, I will go into that now. East, spring, red, the sun rising, new beginnings in life, childhood feelings and emotions. South, summer, yellow, the sun at its highest point in the sky, adolescence, being active in relationships. West, autumn, black, the setting sun, adulthood and its responsibilities, introspection and reflection. North, winter, white, the dark of the night, midnight, maturity, the thinkers and teachers in the community, decision making, and deeper understanding. The ancestors speak. Each part of your life contributes to the whole of who you are. The strength you draw from one area of your life can help you manage another. However, it is now time to reflect and address an imbalance. Weigh up how much time and energy you devote to your health, finances, career, relationships, personal interests, and all other aspects of your life. Once you have identified the areas that need your focus, make a plan to restore balance. Nurture your whole self, mind, body, emotions, and spirit. Divinatory meaning. Look at the world around you. Pay attention to the energy of Mother Earth, the seasons, the sun, and the moon. Consider how the patterns of nature affect you physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and how you relate to the cycles. The medicine wheel supports your transition from one phase to the next. Bring your focus inward to grow, transform, release, and embrace a new stage or aspect of yourself. Yeah, Spirit really wants you to focus on not overworking yourself during this time. It's really a time of restoring balance and peace and removing any hypervigilance or anxiety about the future and any escapism from the past. So let's go into the other guidebook. It's also earlier when I was flipping through here, I didn't look at what number Chiron was at, so I was flipping through here trying to find it, and I stumbled upon page 33, and then I'm like, I feel like it could be 30, like the 33, but it's not, here. And then I looked and I'm like, oh, the card number is 33. Interesting. So 33, I think will be an important number for you all to connect with as well right now. Okay, 33, Chiron healing. The myth. Chiron was a centaur, a creature that is half man and half horse. While most centaurs do not have divine parentage, Chiron was born of the union between Cronus, appearing as a horse, and the nymph Philyra. The wise centaur was a teacher to many heroes, including Achilles, Heracles, and Peleus. Chiron was also known as a great healer, but one day Heracles accidentally shot him in the thigh with a poisoned arrow, and Chiron was unable to heal himself. Being immortal, he could not die, but he suffered great pain. Chiron and Heracles convinced Zeus to allow Chiron to give up his immortal life in exchange for the life of Prometheus whom Zeus was torturing for stealing fire and giving it to man. Chiron was then placed in the sky as the constellation Sagittarius. The message. All healing requires a sacrifice of some kind. We must give up that which is keeping us bound in pain, which is usually related to that which is keeping us bound in comfort. Sometimes it feels harder to give up the old, comfortable thoughts and beliefs that are actually keeping us miserable than it does to be happy and healthy. If you've drawn this card, you need healing in your life now. Whether you require physical, mental, or emotional healing, you must pinpoint which aspects of your life are in need of balance. Balance! All about the balance, y'all. I'm telling you. Balance it out. I know a lot of you really, I get that overworking or overachiever energy, so I know that's going to be hard, but you can do it. I believe in you. This may relate to school, health, or relationships, and you may need to make some active changes in these areas in order to bring them back into an essential state of inner balance. You may need to look over your life and the aspects of it you have not yet owned. You may need to undergo a deep emotional release so that you can facilitate acceptance and forgiveness. A counselor may aid you in this process. Alternatively, there are many books that may be of great assistance to you. I think a lot of you too are and a lot of you think I think you are logical people, but it's just, you get in your own way. Um, and like you're logical in some areas, but maybe it's hard to apply it to yourself, Um, like as it relates to your healing. But I think actually that's a really good idea, reading books. could be very helpful, like self-help books. Some of you it could because it is hard to maybe open up to other people or other people won't understand your situation. There's got to be a book out there that could help you in some way. This is a time of healing for you. Chiron informs us that the greatest gifts we impart to the world come from our greatest wounds. Through the process of healing, you can learn about the inherent gifts that exist within you and make the heroic choice to use your gifts for the greater good. The decision to be a healthy person is the greatest gift you can offer the world. Yeah, and I think like I don't get any energy or vibes of you all being in like this really awful place in life, like not at all. I just think and also I will say I do get a sense that during this time, if it feels like while you're healing yourself, you're actually going back in time or like you're regressing in any way, spirit wants to let you know that you're not. That's just ego thinking. Or like anybody else, if they have things to say to you, that's just on them. Like if you're not doing as much, you're not as active in your community, that doesn't mean that you're not a staple of your community, that you're not a helpful person, right? But you need to focus on yourself too. I think of those people who work, like it makes me think of nurses who work such long shifts. And you hear about how so many people end up leaving nursing because it's just so hard and it's long shifts. And like it doesn't really match for how much they think they should get pay or just bad work environments. So um I just think you need to find ways to, of course, find that balance. And I believe that you can find it. But that also means a big part of your journey is to slow down and reflect. Okay, Brittney from the not so distant future. So soon, literally as soon as I got done with recording the audio for you all, I realized I forgot to do this. What is this, you may ask? This card represents an answer to a question that you may have. It may work for some of you. Again, this is a group reading, but what I want for you to do is think about a question as it relates to, it could relate to honestly anything, but if it's more specific to your healing journey, that would be more helpful. But I will give you some time to think about the question and look at the card, and I will give you 10 seconds starting right now. Ta-da! So here is the answer. Again, it will relate to some of you, maybe to some of you it will not. All right. I will leave it at that though. Thank you so much, Winnie, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comment again in the future if you have any updates for us all to read. You can subscribe to my channel, it helps me out a lot. You can check out the other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my YouTube channel, and you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR, that will be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, Winnie, and take care. Hello, 2B, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The cards pulled here are 8 of Pentacles upright, 9 of Cups in reverse, Ace of Swords upright, 4 of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Wands upright, and we have here the 7 of Wands upright. Wait. 1, 2, 3. I was like, wait, am I tripping? Yes, the 7 of Wands upright. And then for the Oracle cards, I will read in the guidebook later. But we have here... Oh. What's this? Oh. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. Card from another reading was in my line of vision. I'll read in the guidebooks later, but we will say what it says in the cards for now. So it says tune in and connect, nonverbal communication, intuition, and messages. And we have Demeter Harvest. And then, if I remember, I had to go back in. There's like a question and answer portion at the very end of your reading that I will do. I have it right here. I did for the other group too, but I just forgot. So, okay. So, something that I have to say will help you all on your healing journey. It's really interesting. I was going back and forth. You know, sometimes with the cards, they can give one meaning or the complete opposite. Um, what I was gonna say, hopefully I'll remember later, I should. But a lot of you, I think, what will help you on your healing journey is to release expectations and to release pressure. A lot of you with that Nine of Cups in reverse are working toward achieving certain goals, and I think a lot of you too, what will help you on your healing journey will be for you to be more realistic. I think a lot of you have unrealistic expectations and you have unrealistic dreams for yourself, and that isn't a read because I definitely have been there. But you have a lot of unrealistic expectations, and for some of you, I think it could involve, like, within a certain time frame when you get it, but I think also it's just that some things are not meant for you. Oh my goodness, my cat. 1 second. He was scratching on the chair. Don't go crazy now, sir. We'll have to see if you all heard that because of the echo reduction, but I might have to kick you out if you go back there, okay? Yeah, I will. He looked at me like, "Huh?" Okay, but I think a lot of you what was it? Oh, yeah, I was talking about, like, oh, wait, no, I wasn't talking about finances, but I think I was going to. A lot of you, I think, have certain goals as it relates to how much money you'll have, how much wealth you'll have. Um, Maybe if you want a home for yourself that you own. Like, I'm not saying it's unrealistic to be financially stable, but I think a lot of you are kind of over the top. Like, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to win." A lot of, people will hope that they could win the lottery one day, but it's that kind of thinking where it's like, "Oh, yeah, I will win the lottery, and then I'll just move, and I'll have this big house, and all my family will live there." It's like, that sounds great. But Spirit is saying with that last card, the Seven of Wands being here, that it's going to require more hard work to achieve the kind of financial stability you want. And also for me, it just indicates that those kinds of things are unlikely to happen. Who knows? For some of you, maybe you'll comment back one day and be like, no, it did happen for me. But even with the other cards here too, we have with Demeter Harvest. Demeter is all about planting seeds and allowing things to grow over time. So it's not about things happening quickly. It's about planting the seeds and then allowing things to grow and putting in hard work to get there and effort to get there. Um, so if you have any goals that don't really align with that, if you think of anything, um, oh, okay, now I gotta bring up the more healing journey aspect though. Sorry. I'm like being pulled in so many directions. Which is kind of a good thing though. I mean, Spirit really like has messages for you all. So don't remember what I was gonna say before, but I think a lot of you, why your healing journey relates to this with money is because a lot of you probably didn't grow up with much money. Um, or maybe some of you did, but then you haven't been able to achieve financial reward from your parents, if that makes sense. But I think a lot of you, it's just that I wouldn't be surprised if you started work at a young age and you've had to be very self-sufficient. You've had to do things for yourself. And I do think that Spirit really values that, and I think that's why a lot of you just in general would relate to Demeter, because it's about putting in work and over time, achieving things or having, like, goals happen. But Spirit wants you in this healing journey to recognize where you're unrealistic and tie that or connect that with how it relates to childhood, specifically how it relates to your childhood home and or your childhood finances, and think about if you had a very stable home environment when you were younger. I think a lot of it has to do with your healing your childhood memories of your home and home environment. And this could also even relate to family dynamics, but I'm just getting, a lot of this relates to material goods and wealth. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you moved a lot growing up. So I think a lot of you are in search of stability, which is great. And Spirit is saying that you're able to do that and have that. With tune in and connect, I think a lot of you are very connected to Spirit. And I actually think usually I don't say this specifically, but when I say Spirit, it can mean many things. Like a lot of times for these readings, I'm talking about spirit guides, but for a lot of you, I think you do actually have people who have crossed over the bridge, as they say, people who have passed on, who ancestors, family and friends who have passed on, people you have and haven't met, for family and ancestors. But there's a sense that these people are trying to guide you to where you need to be, and they're trying to communicate with you. I feel like they've been sending you many signs, and messages about what's best for your path. I wonder if some of you do connect more, like when I say connecting to spirit, I wonder if you do feel more connected to, say, your family as opposed to spirit guides. I don't know. If not, then this is still the same messaging of your ancestors and family members, loved ones who have passed, have been trying to reach out to you and have been trying to relay messages to you. And for some of you, I think this could be like parents or parental figures who maybe helped you growing up or were around you as you were growing up, and they're trying to relay messages of, I think some of them are actually trying to say sorry to you. So that could be healing in itself, me saying that some of these people who were supposed to protect you or who wanted to provide a good life for you are sorry. And in this instance, I feel that many of you who have loved ones who have passed over, I think, we hear people say people did their best with what they could, especially if you grew up in a marginalized community or in any circumstances that prevented your family from being able to thrive. Maybe you didn't have as much as other kids growing up, There's just a sense that whoever has passed on is really sorry for any lack of finances or security of good home life growing up. They want you to know that a lot of them, I think, want you to know that they did the best that they could, so you can take with that what you will. Uh, yeah. And I think there are lessons to be learned from our ancestors to try and not make the same mistakes that they have made. So even if you don't really feel them around, you can think about and reflect upon that specifically. Also, though, I wanted to bring up what I was gonna bring up first, which I wasn't originally gonna bring up first, but then yeah, I don't know, anyway. I'm gonna bring it up now. So with that Queen of Wands energy and even the Ace of Swords, it makes me think that I wonder if some of you, I don't, I do get the sense of you being strongly independent, but I feel like it's really weird because when we get this other energy of more introvertedness, of tune in and connect and Demeter. Oh, okay, I think I know what this is. Because I was like, what does this social ability have to do with? I think a lot of you, what will help you on your healing journey is talking to either an elder or somebody who has more experience than you in something. And I don't know how exactly that would relate to you. Maybe just talking to somebody who's gone through something similar or somebody in a similar line of work. This can also indicate mentorship. It could indicate seeing a counselor, but it indicates seeing somebody who has a certain skill set that would be of value to you. Also, with the Ace of Swords, it makes me think that some of you, part of your healing journey is being able to communicate better with people. I think some of you, and even it's shown here with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, you keep things in. I think anything you struggle with in life, it may be hard for you to express to other people. Even your goals and visions, like you don't have to express your wildest dreams, but like even your small goals, you can be like, hey, I'm trying to achieve this, and like I'm really sad that I feel stuck. So I think if any of you have been feeling stuck or feel like there's an extra boost of help you need, Spirit is saying that that's a good idea to achieve help um through somebody. And a lot of you, I think this is somebody that you don't really know, or it's somebody that you haven't really talked too much. It would be good to talk to somebody, which is why also I think therapy could be good, to open up more for your healing journey, but also for your healing journey. I have to bring up how some of you just, I don't get a sense, have very good connections, like relationships. So, I feel like Spirit is saying you need to spend more time on nurturing the relationships that you already have. There's a balance of nurturing existing relationships as well as forming new ones. And I think there have been people who have tried to maybe hang out with you, get to know you, but you've just been kind of in your own world a little bit. Or you just have, again, these high expectations for yourself. So maybe you haven't been as sociable lately, but this is indicating to me that you do have a very sociable side as well, this spread. You just kind of have to nudge yourself out of that place of being too individualistic, of doing too much work, or of studying too much. There needs to be balance in that sense. There's something else I was gonna say about that Ace of Swords energy, though. Yeah, I don't know. I think what will help you on your healing journey is just getting the advice and healing from other people. I really recommend for this group looking at, I've said him before, His name is Patrick Teahan, Teahan. He is a licensed clinical social worker and therapist, and he provides YouTube videos for free that you can look at, and that's really helpful if you're not able to see anybody in person. But I think for you, having that one-on-one could be very helpful with somebody. And I don't even get a sense that it has to be anything like you have to talk about super, super deep stuff, but I think just the way you think about things, like getting advice for if you're like, how do I explain it? So you know how there are people who are like, they think one way, and they've maybe thought that way their whole life, and then they talk to somebody and it just changes their perspective. I think a lot of you are actually very open-minded people. You're very smart people. And I think that's why you can kind of get yourself in trouble sometimes, where it's like you you rationalize what you're doing in life. But spirit is like, it's good to be logical, but now you gotta think about not being overly logical, right? Or not trying. Ooh. I was just thinking about not over explaining yourself too. I think some of you, how you can help with your healing right now is to not over explain yourself. I think you feel the need to explain every detail of why you're thinking the way you're thinking or why you're doing the way you're doing. Um, and spirit wants you to be more go with the flow because I do see you being very open-minded. So I see spirit being like, you won't have to worry as much if you just like plant those seeds, like Demeter is saying, and allow those seeds to grow. And you don't need to like keep checking in on progress because you'll know when you're making progress. Oh, my cat. So I'm gonna have to kick you out, buddy. Let's hope you're not scratching up the door. Okay, sorry about that. He will most likely scratch out the door, unfortunately. So, I don't know. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? What I had to do is he's being weird because I had to move. I've never done this while being here, but I had to move this chair because I had to plug in my computer. You know what? I'll open it up again. You can come back in. You can come in, honey. Okay, now that we got all that out of the way, I moved it back. Yep, I'll have to move it again though, honey, when I remove the wiring. You know, I try to be less angry when my cat does stuff because I'm like, he's literally just a cat. Like, if one of my favorite, like, that's his chair he likes to sit on. If he were to, if I were him, and if somebody moved my chair that I always am on, I'd be like, what the heck, too? I'd be like, what is this? What's going on? The energy shifts. So I think this happening for you all also makes sense because I've never had to plug in my computer during all this. It's very weird. I haven't even been recording for that long today. Oh, 12:12. That could be an important time. 12:12 my time. Make a wish. Okay. Now that that is done, I think that happening though, is also going to resonate with you and your healing journey because I think Spirit wants to say it's about doing things step by step that will help you on your healing journey. Continuing to work hard, but doing things step by step and switching things up, even if it's ever so slightly. I think a lot of you are in this state of not wanting to change your routines. You just want to keep going at the same rate and doing the same thing. But Spirit is saying any goals that you do have, it's not good for there to be stagnancy. So they want for you to switch things up, even if they are ever so minor. Also, for some of you, I think what will help you on your healing journey is moving things around in your home. It shifts the energy around. That also means throwing things out that need to be thrown out. Um, it gets rid of any clutter because I think overall you all are putting in hard work for your day-to-day life. Um, I think you've done a lot of work on your past too, but I just think there's some things that creep in. So you need advice for some of you. It's about how you react to situations and how you. Some of you could have social anxiety, even though I get a sense that a lot of you are actually social beings at your core. So some of you that resonates, some of you it doesn't. But there's a sense that talking with people will be very helpful on your healing journey, specifically one-on-one talks with somebody that you can trust or somebody that could be a mentor of some kind. And you put in good hard work for your life, I see this being actually very good and that you're a very hard worker. Um, I don't see like much issues, just also being more realistic. Okay, I think I'll leave that there, but I'll go into the guidebook now. Tune in and connect. Nonverbal communication, intuition, messages. One of the oldest living cultures, the indigenous peoples of Australia share a song with the land, the sky, and everything in between, or everything between. To others, their connection to the environment, instinctive tracking skills, and knowledge of plants and animals can look like magic. Their song lines enabled them to survive and navigate the Oh, my cat, are you gonna be naughty again? I'm just gonna keep going. Their song lines enabled them to survive and oh, okay, survive and navigate the sparse island continent. Westerners have mistaken this ability as supernatural, like a kind of telepathy, as it is nonverbal and based in feeling. For the indigenous Australians, there is no separation between material and spiritual, and feeling a song, knowing when the rains are coming or that your child needs you, is completely natural. The ancestors. Oh, that's what you're looking at, huh? There's a bug. What bug is that? Is that a lady? What kind of bug is that? Ugh. Okay, well, I'll have to hopefully remember to get it because my cat just completely ignored that. Anyway, knowing when the rains are coming or that your child needs you is completely natural. The ancestors speak. There has been so much noise and busy energy around you that you haven't been able to stop and listen to what the universe is trying to tell you. Quieten your mind and find a peaceful space you can visit. Meditate or be still for a few moments each day, and you will feel more connected to your loved ones, regardless of distance. Yeah, you will also be more receptive to signals and messages, spoken or otherwise. And I also really like, for a lot of you, those moments where you need to find peace. For you all, I actually don't get a sense you need a lot of time to like sit there and like recharge or to just relax. I think it's easy for your energy levels to replenish, so you just have to allow yourself to even just for me too, like before I like in between each set, if I need to take a minute and just like ground myself, give myself some Reiki, and that really helps me to be less frazzled. And this I am, but also just because of stuff going on. Anyway, divinatory meaning. Listen to your gut instincts and don't doubt what you are feeling. Often the first thing you feel, hear, or sense about something ends up being right. Still, it can take courage to listen to your intuition and trust your heart instead of being led by other people's opinions. Be open to a family member or friend and the message they are trying to communicate to you. It is time to connect with someone. Yeah, that's what I was saying. For sure. Now let's go to 15 Demeter. Did anybody ever say that different? Like Demeter? I don't know. Okay, 15 Demeter the heart. 15 Demeter harvest. The myth. Demeter, goddess of the fertile earth, is the daughter of the Titans Cronus and Rhea. When Hades stole Demeter's daughter Persephone to be his queen in the underworld, Demeter searched the world in despair and mourned until the earth became barren. Thanks to Zeus's intervention, Persephone can return to her mother for 2/3 of the year, spending 1/3 of the year in the underworld. This myth explains the changing seasons. When Persephone is away, Demeter grieves and the earth becomes barren, thus giving us winter. When she returns in spring, new life comes with her. Demeter is happy and the earth flourishes with life through summer. But things start to die in autumn as the time for Persephone to leave again draws near. The message. Our lives always move in cycles. We have periods that are like summer, when everything seems to be flourishing and going well, and periods like winter, when it seems that nothing is working, moving, changing, or improving. Winter may even feel like a period of total mental, emotional, or physical stillness. While every stage of the cycle is important and essential to growth, some stages are harder than others. If you have pulled this card today, the long and barren winter is over. You may have gone through a period when you were working very hard at school, at home, in activities, this is like perfect for you, or in relationships with little to no visible evidence for the work you did. That time is now over. Your life is shifting toward movement and rewards. And I do get that. I just think you are in a phase though where you do still have to be more realistic. I have talked about how a lot of you are very hard workers, and yeah, like I think right now isn't the time for any like really awful things to happen, hopefully. Like I'm not getting that sense. I get a sense that a lot of that's been in the past and you've done a lot of work on yourself to get to this point. So it feels like you've already done a good job, but yeah. So good job, everybody. But now is the time for the rewards, hopefully, but also still planting seeds and allowing things to take time. This is a time of harvest for you. That means that it is time to receive your due for your work. You have been through the harsh, cold winter, worked hard, and remained focused, and now it is the time for reaping the benefits. All the seeds that you have planted have grown and borne fruit, and this is a time for carefully and lovingly harvesting the fruits of your labor. Within each fruit, new seeds emerge. This is a time of great abundance. Remember to have reverence, humility, and gratitude as you enjoy this joyous part of the cycle of nature. That's another part of your healing journey too, is being able to practice gratitude and being happy for what you already have, because I do see good times continuing to come, but I really do need to emphasize the need to be realistic within all this. And I think the more realistic you are and you set proper expectations, not too high of expectations, that then things will work out more in your favor. Now what I'll have us do is, there's an oracle card on the screen right now, and I want for you to think of a question, and specifically as it relates to your healing journey or anything that I talked about in this reading. It would be most helpful if you did that. If not, that's still fine. It doesn't have to be a yes or no question. It can be if you would like it to be. But yeah, I'll give you 10 seconds starting right now. All right. So here is the card. Again, for some of you, it may resonate. This is a group reading. So for some of you, it may resonate. For some of you, it may not. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Tubi, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comment in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. You can check out the other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my channel. And you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR. That will be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, Tubi, and take care. Hello, 3C, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. We have here the High Priestess, 10 of Pentacles, High Priestess upright, 10 of Pentacles upright, Page of Pentacles upright, 3 of Cups in reverse, 5 of Pentacles in reverse, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the Oracle cards here, and we will read in the guidebook later on. But I will tell you what it says on the card. So it says laugh and have fun, smile, positive energy, joyfulness. And we have 9, Atlas, responsibility. And then we have another Oracle card that I will get to at the very end of this reading. So I will say that a major way in which you can help yourself on your healing journey, something you can do, is to focus more on yourself. I think a lot of you are very loving and caring people. When I was pulling the cards for this spread, it seems like you give away too much of your energy to other people. So something you can do is to call your energy back to you and to not give it away to everybody. Some of you also may be overly trusting as well. So Spirit is saying you need to learn to not trust everybody. That doesn't mean you can't trust anybody. But with the High Priestess here, Spirit wants you to use your intuition to be able to weed out who is in your life for the right reasons and for the wrong reasons, because I think a lot of people easily walk over you and take advantage of you, and people in life just know that you'll always be there, so people utilize that to their advantage, and then that leaves you with less energy for yourself. And also it leaves you giving energy to people who just don't deserve it. Not everybody deserves your kindness, right? Like, we can be kind to strangers in general, or just anybody, but if people are walking all over us, we can't just allow that to keep happening, because then that's showing disrespect for ourselves and lack of care for ourselves. And we have to put ourselves first. So that's another thing too I must explicitly say is, for your healing journey, something that will help you is to put yourself first. I mean, we literally have Atlas here holding up the world, and we have the family card here, the 10 of Pentacles upright. And it seems like, also with the King of Pentacles in reverse being here, it seems like you're always finding ways to help family, especially to provide for family. Some of you also might have families of your own, or you're working really hard, so that's why you're working hard maybe now, is because you want to provide for your family in the future, like any future family that you have, or like family that you have if you know that their health has been declining, you want to save up money for them. But I think there's gotta be reasons why this is part of your personality that you're such a helper. So I would really look into your past relationships as well as your current relationships. And that doesn't mean romantic, that means I mean, it can, but it means everything, you know? But especially, I want to highlight friends and family because we do have the Three of Cups in reversed here. I think of a lot of the healing that you all need to do has to do with your relationships with people where you've been picked second or third or fourth. I think a lot of times in your life, you may have noticed people don't pick you first. People don't consider your needs. They consider other people's needs before your needs. So then I think that's also why you maybe if that was modeled to you in childhood or if that's what was the case ever since you were young, then it makes sense that you continue to neglect yourself if you feel like that's a way to get other people to like you, to show you attention, or to what you think is validating you, but it's not, you know? Because again, I feel like people take advantage of your kindness and take advantage of your generosity. Some of you too give the energy of having money now. I wonder if a lot of you did not. I said this in stack 2 as well, I believe. I think a lot of you probably didn't have much money or much access to resources growing up, maybe. Uh, some of you maybe you still did, but you're just really wanting to work hard now and make sure that you can provide. Like maybe in that case, you want to provide in the way that your parents provided for you and all of their children, so all of your siblings. Maybe you want to also be able to do that, but you want to be able to do that on your own accord, for some of you. But I really love how the High Priestess was pulled here. I actually hardly ever pull the High Priestess, even though it's quite literally like my favorite card. I love it. I identify with it so much. Ooh, yeah, that's the thing though. With the High Priestess, I think some of you, the reason maybe I'm getting the sense that you do so much for people is because I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are women or grew up uh as being identified as a girl or a woman. And so there's a lot of expectations on you to um like take care of things at home. It's really interesting though, because I don't really get that that's necessarily the what is this high priestess? I feel like it's trying to tell me something. Something about societal expectations. So even if you're a man too, like any like gender-based cultural societal expectations that have been placed upon you from a young age, I think a lot of you need to work through those things. Because I think there's parts of you that you don't even realize about yourself yet. That's part of your healing journey is finding out who you are. I think a lot of you know kind of who you are, but I think because you do so much for other people, you neglect yourself. So when we have this card over here that's saying laugh and have fun, be smiling, be joyful, it's like a lot of you might be like, well, what do I do to have fun? I like doing things for other people. Or maybe a lot of you have fun by being with people all the time. Maybe it's hard to be alone. I actually do get a sense though that for a lot of you there is more of a balance of alone time versus being around people, but I would venture to say that a lot of times when you're involved with other people in a day, it has to do with something you're doing for them, or I just feel like you're such a sacrificing person. You self-sacrifice. So I really there's a sense that you need to work on healing your relationships. I don't remember what I said earlier, but about the relationships, oh, I think I'm thinking about stack 2 now. I think I still have the cards. Let me like, everything kinda blends together sometimes. Yeah, I don't even remember already what I was saying earlier for this stack. But for any of your relationships, there are some that need to be let go of, and I think a lot of you are putting too much effort into maintaining them. I would look to see like, logically look at your relationships and be like, "Okay, what do I do to self-sacrifice for this person? What do I do to make myself small to this person so this person can be lifted up?" Like, I see a lot of you maybe take the punches in your friend groups or in your family groups because you're like, "Oh, it's fine, I can handle, I can take it." Taking one for the team. But Spirit wants you to tap into your intuition more because I think a lot of you actually are, it's very opposite of stack 1, where I think a lot of you are very, or maybe not. I don't know. See, now I'm getting kind of confused. Um, so usually this ends up happening and the way that's coming across in my mind right now when there is okay, I will say there's a theme of this throughout all 3 of the stacks, but it's different for each stack and the way it comes across. But I don't really know how best to explain it, but yeah, there's an energy of, like, overworking yourself, but in terms of, like, overcompensating for other people. You know what I'm saying? To help maintain. Spirit wants you to tap into because I think a lot of you are logical and you rationalize, but I just don't think you do enough for yourself. So High Priestess is saying tap into your intuition. High Priestess is also very connected to self-care and also divine feminine. So if any of you feel that you need to connect more strongly to your feminine side, you can certainly do that. And that could be very helpful for you right now. And for some of you I still gotta bring up those societal roles. If you are a woman, there's a sense that you need to be the person that everybody relies on. So I would urge you to tap into those notions and tap into the ways that society, based on your gender or how you present, has classified you and therefore classified um how you should be, how you should act, how you should talk. There's a big sense that that's part of it. There's a lot of conditioning here. So I would work on healing any conditioning that you've had from a young child as it is based around um your gender, how you identified growing up, and as well as how you identify now. I'm being pulled so many different areas. Oh yeah, I was saying though about the confusion. It's just like there's so much going on, I feel like. So it's hard to hone into one thing because the energies are pulling me all over the place with the cards. Um, for some of you, I will say, maybe you already know that you don't want to be like how your parents were. A lot of you with this Page of Pentacles upright, I think, are breaking generational curses, or you're wanting to. Maybe you're looking into ways that you don't have to be the person your parents thought you would be growing up. You don't have to identify strictly with any roles, growing up. I think a lot of you, this is really, I said before, a lot of you don't really know certain parts of yourself because you do so much for other people. So now really is a time I see of self-exploration. We have the Page of Pentacles here. So I think a lot of you will be able to realize who you truly are versus who society has told you to be, and that includes who families told you to be. There's a really big emphasis right now on healing your relationships with friends. And some of that is with current friendships, but I think a lot of that is releasing friendships that don't serve you any longer, not putting any more energy or effort into those, and instead fostering new friendships. There's a big sense of how you can heal right now is through building your own community of people. Chosen family. Chosen family is a very big key phrase. That doesn't mean you can't be close to your family as well, but I just think there's parts of you that you won't realize are true about you, or that you just won't be able to identify until you're around certain people and that bring out certain qualities that you have that have been suppressed or that you didn't know you had. For me, I didn't realize I was bisexual or even demisexual as well, until I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and that really helped me realize also that I was non-binary. Without RuPaul's Drag Race, I grew up in North Dakota, so if you relate to that, and that doesn't mean it has to do with sexuality or, like, gender identity, right? It's just any parts of yourself, especially as they do relate to gender, but any parts of yourself that have been I gotta bring up that generational trauma too, like, it isn't just society, it's things that have been passed along for generations, so if, like, you come from a long line of engineers, and so then you're expected to be an engineer, and all of your siblings are already engineers or are going to school for that. There's a sense of you breaking away free from these curses and from these expectations. It's a time of you figuring out who you are and what you would like to do. So that will be very healing for you. Not being engaged in groupthink and not doing what the people around you are doing. So that's why I think chosen family will be important. That could be at college or anywhere in your community where you can find people who maybe not only bring out certain qualities of you that you didn't know you had or different parts of expression, but maybe people can help you on your career path as well if it's different from what your parents did. For I mean, there are so many Pentacles cards here, so but it really does come across to me more so as family. I think too that some of you maybe there's just this loss of friendship that's going on here. I wonder if some of you lost friends because of like a relationship ending, or if people got divorced. Maybe you became good friends with like your brother's wife, but then they got divorced, right? And so maybe if like y'all were like actually best friends, maybe even before your brother and the wife met. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's some sort of dynamic where it could even be family friends. There's dynamics of friends as well as family where there's some sort of grieving that needs to be done there, but I especially have to highlight some friend groups where some sort of betrayal happened. And I wouldn't give these people too much energy. Like, because you want to heal things yourself and you want to be the fixer, I have to urge you, like, Spirit doesn't want you to worry. We literally have laugh and have fun. Spirit doesn't want you to worry about people anymore that aren't good to you. And if you still have them along, again, release them. There's a need to release people who you already know have maybe done bad things, but you just feel the need to upkeep. And that could be because of family friend connections. Or like, oh, that person was at my wedding, so I can't just stop talking to them. It's like, yes, you can. You have free will. Uh, there's stubborn energy, but not in the way of you being like mean, but there's a stubborn energy of you just feeling like you're doing what you're meant to do and you're supposed to do and that people expect you to do. So you gotta work on healing yourself by releasing expectations as well. Also, because there's so many pentacles here, any worries, generally speaking, about finances or family or ways of living, I would just release those. Like, I see there being a lot of discovery here, so I don't think you should be stagnant in only one way of thinking. There's a lot of new things that you'll think of and come up with during this time, and I can't there's a lot of things that can mean, but I think if it resonates with you, that it should resonate. We have the High Priestess here. It's so and I love how that's here too because of all the Pentacles energy. It's like, yes, there's all this Pentacles, like, grounded energy, but you can still connect to Source in this way. A lot of you I think are just kind of more neutral times right now. So maybe a lot of you don't even know if there's any like healing you need to do, but Spirit's saying there definitely is, as it relates especially to relationships. Okay, and like you don't need to hear somebody for some of you need to hear this. You don't need to hear somebody say sorry. Like you don't need to hear somebody apologize. If somebody's done you wrong, that's on them. You can't expect people to be better, and you also can't expect that it's okay for people to not apologize if they should, right? And just deal with it and move on and still be friends with these people. Spirit's like, you know the people you need to weed out. Intuitively, you've probably been sent signs about that. So Spirit wants you to connect to that. Some of you also with the High Priestess need to do like cord cutting. If you don't know what cord cutting is, there's many ways you can look that up, but you just, it's like usually there's a cord connecting you or multiple cords connecting you to like another person. So you just imagine yourself cutting those cords and then like releasing those cords, or they get transmuted into pure white light. There's many ways to do that, but I will look up cord cutting exercises. And yeah, key phrase though for you all is self-discovery and not being lumped into groupthink, doing things on your own for yourself, for your own joy and happiness, not for the joy and happiness of others. Those are like the key things, and that involves those relationships. Don't have people around just because they're family. Just because you're blood related does not mean that they will treat you with respect. So treat yourself with respect and have boundaries with people, or release people from your life who are not meant to be there. But I will go into the guidebook now. Oh, did I just pass it? It's in between here. Okay. Laugh and have fun. Smile, positive energy, joyfulness. Due to its remote location in the eastern Himalayas, Bhutan has been largely self-reliant and protected from invasion. Bhutan is a name used by outsiders. The inhabitants called their homeland Drukyul, meaning land of the thunder dragon. Ooh, cool. Despite its isolation, Buddhism arrived in Bhutan as early as the 7th century CE and was a well-founded part of the culture from the 8th century. In 1972, the fourth king of Bhutan, King Jigme Singye Wangchuk, sorry if I said that wrong, infamously stated that gross national happiness is more important than gross domestic product. Once coined, gross national happiness became a hallmark of Bhutan's infrastructure. The Gross National Happiness Index, or GNHI, was introduced as a yardstick for government policy and business practice. The GNHI considers psychological well-being, health, education, community vitality, living standards, and other factors, not just economic growth. This holistic approach to progress is unique, inspiring, and successful. Since the introduction of the GNHI, poverty and its economy has seen Since the introduction of the GNHI, Bhutan has significantly reduced poverty and its economy has seen consistent growth. It remains one of the happiest places on earth. The ancestors speak. When was the last time you had a proper laugh? When did you laugh so hard your stomach hurt? If it was too long ago to remember, it is time to plan a joy session. Watch some comedy, read a funny book, or connect with positive people, especially that part. You may want to try a laughing meditation. If you already had a good belly laugh today, have another one. You can never have too much laughter in your life. Joy and laughter can help you through the hard times. Yeah, a lot of you take life so seriously, and there's just so much like rigidity and like feeling like you need to follow along with what people want you to do or what you're expected to do or what you set out to do from a younger age, and you just keep on that path. Spirit is saying that there's so much more to life to that, and that you deserve to also be happy and focus on your own self-care. That's part of your healing journey, is self-care. Divinatory meaning. Laughter is truly the best medicine and heals you and helps you to open yourself to positive energy. When you laugh, you become magnetic, drawing like-minded, positive people to you. That's perfect for you right now. Also, laughing is infectious. By increasing your gross personal happiness, you help others smile and laugh as well. You can help heal people who need a boost of positive energy. Smile, laugh, and giggle today. And so, I wouldn't be surprised if you grew up in a very, like, non-emotional household as well. 9. Atlas responsibility. The myth. The Titan Atlas, brother of Prometheus, governed the moon. When Zeus defeated Cronus, he sent most of the remaining Titans to Tartarus, the hell aspect of the underworld. However, he decided to punish Atlas by sending him to the western edge of the earth to hold up the sky so that Earth, Gaia, and Sky Uranus could not join again and create more Titans. The message. It may feel as though we have the weight of the world on our shoulders, but this is actually due to the lack of responsibility and not the burden of it. When we are truly responsible, we know that we have the power to create whatever we want for our lives. You have a responsibility, first and foremost, to give yourself a balanced and healthy life, a life that takes care of all of your basic needs. It is not your responsibility to carry the burdens of others, or to buy into any societal or buy into any societal pressures that don't seem relevant to you. That's literally what I was saying. In fact, if these types of pressures dominate your life, it is your responsibility to remove them. Oh my god, I'm literally tearing up. It is your responsibility to ask for help when necessary and create for yourself the circumstances that will keep all areas of your life balanced. It is not helpful to carry the responsibilities of others or to uphold the expectations of anyone else. If people are never forced to take care of their own needs, they will become crippled. In order to let go of other people's responsibilities, you must let go of your need for approval. Don't seek the approval of others at the expense of your own health. This is the time to take full responsibility for your life. You alone created your life. You are the victim of no one and nothing. Your life is exactly how you've decided it to be. If things need changing, change them. If old pains and wounds are holding you back, now is the time to surrender them. Give them up now. If that pain is holding you back in life, it is because you are letting it. Decide now to do whatever is necessary to let that old pain go. You don't have control over the world, but you do have the power to take responsibility for your feelings, reactions, and perceptions, and to make empowered decisions about how you live your life. That's the thing. A lot of you will feel a lot of more power through releasing these relationships and releasing these societal pressures. Now is the time to examine your life and see which areas have become burdensome. It may be necessary to take more time for yourself, ask for help, make schedule changes, stop catering to the needs and expectations of others, or give up your old pain and negative self-talk. Taking care of yourself is the best gift you can offer the world. You only have one opportunity to live this life, so you might as well make it the best life possible. Taking responsibility for all your experience gives you the power to create the life you want, and only this can lead you to true freedom. And also, for some reason, some of you, I think, struggle with like affirmations, positive affirmations. I recommend you all trying to do that more, positive affirmations, and like getting to a point where you don't feel uncomfortable saying them to yourself. Now, on the screen here is an oracle card. You can think of any question as it relates to this stack, any of the messages I've said, or just your healing journey in general is what I recommend. And you can ask a yes or no question. You can ask a completely different question, but I'll give you 10 seconds to think about that question and look at the card starting now. All right, now we have the time up. Here is the answer to, we have the time up. Have I ever heard anybody say that? I don't know. Anyway, the time is up. So here's the answer to that card. It is reconsider. Some of you it may resonate, some of you it may not, this answer. Um, Again, it is a group reading. So for some of you it could resonate, some of you it would not. All right. Thank you so much for watching and listening, 3C. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack, and you can update your comment in the future if there are any updates you would like to provide for us all. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. You can check out the other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my channel, and you can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR. That will be linked in the video description down below. Thank you so much again, 3C, and take care.